luck. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me. So I'm all yours.
So kind of in that same vein, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you
Oh
grew
my
up?
goodness. So that's a good question. First, honestly, I want to be a priest. I used to practice being a priest. At some point, I wanted to be a professional athlete. So, born and raised in Buffalo, I wanted to be a hockey player, but I didn't skate very well, so I figured that wasn't going to happen. And then eventually, by the time I got in high school, I wanted to be an engineer, and that's kind of what I became. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd be a history major. Love history. Love modern American history.
What is your favorite band or musician?
So I have such eclectic musical taste. This summer, I saw up in Niagara Falls. My mind is elsewhere right now. Oh my God, that's terrible.
It's not an easy question. It's deceivingly simple.
No, it's very easy, but I gotta tell you, my mind is really a blank. The heck? Okay, so went to see David. I want to say David Wright. That's not right though. God. Let this be an easy question.
We could go to what's your favorite
David
song?
Gray.
David Gray.
Went to see David Gray. I love David Gray. And we saw Amos Lee there. He was kind of thrown in. He was awesome. So right now, Amos Lee. Even though I couldn't come up with it. But also like Bonnie Raitt, Mary Chapin Carpenter. So that's kind of I have a pretty eclectic taste.
What about Twitter? What is your favorite Twitter account?
Flyer News.
Oh, that's a good answer. We'll definitely put that in the article.
So other than Flyer News, the University of Dayton, other than Dayton sites, I like, I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. So there's a site called YGAVs, Where Have You Gone, Andy Van Slyke, that my other Pirate fans make fun of me for following it, but that's probably my favorite site. I can't wait till he posts every day.
And a lot of students have been asking us if you're going to make your Twitter account public.
I
if you can interact.
am. I mean, there's about a gazillion requests here, so I just haven't had a chance to get to them. But yeah, I'm going to look for. I mean, the thing that I want to be really careful about, and you guys maybe can give me advice. So University of Dayton has a president today.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. It's Dr. Curran until July 1st. So I want to find ways that are respectful to interact with, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and others. And Dr. Curran and I are already very, very generous with me. And, we're both confident we're going to work well together during the transition to the benefit of the university. But the reason I haven't said yes to all these yet is I want to think about exactly how I'm going to do it. But if I know some people say, no, is Spina going to open up the... So I'm absolutely going to engage in every way with the students. I love walking around and talking to students and hearing hopes and dreams and, pains and sorrows and, love celebrating good news and crying over bad news. So I'll be engaging.
During your speech this morning, you talked a lot about how coming to Dayton felt like coming home to you, but what else originally drew you to UD?
So besides really everything I said there, I like the size. So Syracuse has 21,000 students. For me, that was an upper limit. I was thinking about a couple schools that were bigger, but 11,000 students, give or take. Really, it's a nice size. I feel like I wrap my arm around it. So size of the student body. I thought about some places that didn't have engineering, but I like that engineering is here. Not that I'm going to favor engineering, but I see the value of engineering kind of across the board. It's good to have a tenured faculty position and tenured faculty home, so that helps. So the fact that engineering is here, and a place that has improved. I mean, people nationally know that Dayton is better today than it was 5 years ago, and 5 years ago was better than it was 10 years ago. You don't want to go to a place that's on the ropes or been kind of declining a little bit. So I think those are probably the biggest things: the size, the composition of the academics, and the trajectory is very positive. I joked with, has everyone called Dr. Curran, Dr. Dan? I joked with Dr. Dan the other day. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go someplace where the president who was leaving departing president was failing or succeeding. It's much easier to follow someone who hasn't done well. But at the end of the day, I decided I want to follow a good president. So yeah. But I would say all the other things that I said in my speech, those are really critical.
And in terms of engineering, especially last year, we started focusing a lot more on sustainability. And how do you see your role in expanding that or developing it? So,
love it. Really love it. I mean, the Hanleys have been so supportive. And, students, faculty, staff, alums are all, really rallying behind this direction. I love that it's paired with human rights. I mean, I think that really gives UD a spot that I think anybody else has, and anybody else can do as well as Dayton. We've done a lot of stuff at Syracuse. Some I've been intimately involved with in terms of environmental quality, indoor and outdoor. But it really hasn't. We've talked a lot about we should make sure this is social justice and so on. Really didn't pursue that weren't able to pursue it in a significant way. So my job is, like with a lot of things, is going to be a cheerleader and someone who calls it out through a megaphone, someone who raises money to support student involvement and support faculty research. That's the kind of thing where I'm not going to come in and say, you should do this a little differently. Good people doing that. My job is to support them, raise money if I can. Just really be a cheerleader primarily, and that really is. You guys may not fully appreciate that combination, human rights and sustainability, and puts Dayton in a great spot. Separate from doing the right thing, which is always good. Really leveraging the university, its brand, in a big way over the coming years. So I think that's terrific. And there's a place for engineering and the sciences there too, and the humanities and the arts. So I think that's a place where everybody can play.
I know you talked, at least I heard that you talked about diversity a lot in your speech. So how do you plan on going about increasing the diversity at the University of Dayton? Yeah, I mean, it's really important to me. I think, very frankly, for 3 reasons, and you can pick 1, 2, or all of the 3. But one is, look at the country, right? If you aren't a place that is seen as attractive and supportive of a diverse student body, you're going to be in trouble just from a business perspective, because there are fewer and fewer students in the quote-unquote majority, right? So we need to be a place that's seen as friendly. So we call that the business case. The second reason is I believe, and I see it, when I was an assistant professor in engineering, you have different kinds of people around the table when you're trying to solve a problem or design a product. You're going to wind up with a better product. Imagine trying to design a building, right, without having someone who understands deeply or has a disability around the table. Imagine thinking about launching a food product or packaging for a food product
that you want to be national, and you don't know how to sell to the South or to people in California. So just from a, from an educational perspective, the best environment for learning is getting a lot of people with different perspectives, different backgrounds, different colors, different ethnicities, different, you name it, around the table. So that's the second reason. Because I think you're going in a world that's a heck of a lot more diverse than the world I went into when I was, or at least the world I knew I was going into when I graduated. And, if you can't deal with diversity, you're going to lose. And then the third reason is just it's the right thing to do. So, it's something that we're going to talk a lot about. There's no magic bullet. It takes hard work from everybody. I know people here are committed. They've been working, and there have been positive change. I certainly want to continue that trajectory. We really need to be a place. And I heard that from the search committee. I heard that from the trustees. I heard that from students walking across campus a couple of weeks ago. So it'll be. That's an area where we're going to talk a lot, but we're also going to act a lot. And again, there's no magic bullet. I know how I did it. We did it, quote unquote, at Syracuse. I know how they do it at some other universities. It needs to be authentic for the University of Dayton, but I'm confident that we can make progress.
So you said you got to walk around a little bit, and you spent a weekend here with your wife. Have you walked through the student neighborhoods yet?
Yes.
And what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. So, for a university this size, I don't say this authoritatively, but I say it, I'm pretty confident. There's no other university this size with that kind of opportunity for students. And the way that the students kind of go through their learning environments here, from kind of standard double to apartment living to the community, I think provides great value to students, great value to the university. And I loved walking through the neighborhood. It was really neat. It was vibrant. I loved Art Street. I loved some of the homes and what they were doing. People on the porches. So it's I think it's a major asset, and I think the university has done a great job over time of making certain as many of those houses as possible are owned by the university and well maintained, and really in warm and inviting places for students to live.
Could you see yourself crowd surfing through the neighborhood?
Yeah, so I have an L4, L5 problem, so we'll have to see about crowd surfing. But when there are things to celebrate, I'm gonna celebrate with the students and the faculty and staff. You don't do these jobs, which are all consuming, unless you really like to interact with students. So I don't have a list in my head or on my phone of here are the ways we're going to celebrate. But we're gonna have fun together. I can't wait to go to a game and see the Red Scare and get in the middle of the Red Scare and have fun. It's Syracuse, obviously strong basketball school. Students love the game. The seats at Syracuse are pretty far away from the court, so I understand here they're not. And it can be pretty intimidating for opposing teams, so that'll be fun.
And are there a few things or one thing that you learned at Syracuse that you're going to take here or implement here?
Yeah, as much as possible, I've been trying not to say, Dayton has this and Syracuse doesn't, or Syracuse has this and Dayton doesn't. I think it's important for us to be us, right? So, I think primarily the most important thing, and this may be more abstract than the question you were asking, as a leader, I learned that you can't do everything yourself. You shouldn't try. That you get a lot of wisdom if you get a lot of good people around you. You empower them. You support them. So the biggest thing that I learned as an administrator at Syracuse, I think, was how to treat people, how to work with people, how to listen carefully, ultimately how to make decisions. So that's from an abstract perspective that answers your question if it's abstract. If it's more specific, I learned a lot about research at Syracuse. When I was a junior faculty member and a tenured faculty member, But then, we put together some really terrific research proposals, some huge research proposals that were very successful. So I think I learned how to form teams. Dayton does a great job. The leadership of UDR has been terrific. These days, research is a team sport, and I think we need to make sure that everybody can play, because that's the only way we can really win. And then the other thing that I'll bring here, not as an expert, is so we spent a lot of time at Syracuse, really working with folks, especially in the city, but really the region. Syracuse, similar ways to Dayton, used to have a lot of factories and unemployment was very low, and the city was very vibrant. And then it went through a really challenging time and has started to bounce back, towards the new economy, and has forgotten about trying to draw back all the automotive jobs. But what I learned at Syracuse was the city is really important. If you're going to attract students, if you're going to attract good faculty and staff to come and work there, right, they're going to drive through the city and they're going to want to go have lunch someplace. And if it's not a vibrant city with good places to eat, good places to stay, good arts, culture, it's going to hurt the university. So, here at Dayton, it's very clear. Brother Ray, Dr. Dan have done a great job of engaging with the community. That's really important to me. I think really important to the University of Dayton. So I think I've learned a little bit. New communities are always different, but really how to do that philosophically. It can't be. We're from the university. We're here to fix all your problems. Right? It really needs to be collaborative and supportive and mutually beneficial. It needs to be right out there from the front. Not that we have all the answers, but that we're interested in the community. We want it to work closely.
How do you think your faith is going to drive your leadership here at UD?
Yeah, so I'm a values-based leader, and my faith has always been important to me. When I was at Syracuse, I couldn't write memos with faith and God and so on in them. But I think the kinds of messages that I would write, the kinds of interactions I had with people were based on my faith. So, it'll take me a little while to get used to living it a little bit more publicly. But I think the primary way is, I'm excited about the values of the Marianists. I'm excited about the students who come here, the inclusive community that they want to create, focused on the dignity of every individual. Again, I have a lot to learn, but I think the key thing is the values that I've had and lived, I think, are very consistent with faith here.
We've got to let Dr. Spina have some lunch, so one more question.
Can
we give him two more?
You're the boss.
Okay.
But Molly's telling me.
Yeah.
I guess, what do you think sets you apart from past UD leaders?
Yeah. So I don't want to dodge that one. I'll give you a do-over. Yeah, I think that's probably not fair to anybody. What sets me apart is I'm Eric Spina. Right? This is Dan Curran. That was Ray Fitz. Hopefully, in due course, we'll all be seen as strong leaders who move the university forward.
I guess if you had one thing that you wanted the student body to know, or faculty, staff, just the UD community, what would you want that to be?
So I said it today, but I think it's so important. Here comes Molly.
The knock.
I know. Don't blame Sylla. It's me. I'm coming. Not to repeat myself, but I think it's the most important thing. I don't know it all. I'm going to listen, and we're going to talk about a lot of things, right? I'm not going to go to the College of Law or School of Law and say, this is what we're doing. Engineering, this is what we're doing. I'm really, there'll be decisions that come up, probably right away that we need to do things about. But for longer term directions and strategic opportunities and just the future of the university. We're going to talk and I'm going to listen. So I think that's important for people to know. So now the last one, otherwise Molly's going to get me in trouble.
Let's see. Pressure to end on a good question. How about an easy one? Are you going to be out walking around during family weekend this weekend?
Yeah, I'm not. I have to take Emery back to school tomorrow, so we're leaving this afternoon. So, but I'm looking forward to coming back on campus and doing a lot more walking around, probably without his signature on.
Okay, good. Hopefully with spirit wear.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get time at the bookstore because I'm going to help the economy today. I got some UD things already, but I have my eye on a few others. So
How many red and blue ties do you own that you have to switch over to your
now
from your orange?
Red and blue.
Yeah.
The 2 I got yesterday plus one other.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Well, no, ask me how many orange ties I have.
Too many?
I can't even count, but I would guess 20.
Goodwill's really good for that.
And then orange shirts, probably 30. So we're gonna have a yard sale. Well, I really had fun with you guys. So thanks for what you do.